we chose to build a house instead of buying an apartment for the same price. This is not a scam, but a carefully planned project we're implementing now. We called it Smart Oasis because we want to show that it's possible to build wisely and without spending a fortune, so you don't end up stuck in construction chaos. We're working together with a house full of energy, a team that handles everything from A to Z. They order materials, build, and make sure the whole process goes smoothly. In the last episode, you saw how the foundation slab was made. Today, we're putting on our vests again and heading to the construction site to show you how the walls of Spritna Oaza are going up and why this stage is more than just bricklaying. We'll be on site with cameras and a series of questions so you can see for yourself what challenges you have to face when building a house. At the end, as always, we'll reveal the stage's cost, since we know that's what you've wanted to know since construction began. You can already leave a motivational thumbs up under the video. It doesn't cost you anything and it gives us a boost to keep going. Alright, let's head to the construction site as quickly as possible.
I'll tell you, I had other plans for today, but someone finally called and said we're starting the masonry work. There's nothing more important than that. This isn't just an ordinary construction anymore, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle, but also a test of patience, since concrete needs time to set. If the weather is good, you can start working after 7 days, but there's no need to rush. Full curing can take up to 4 weeks. It's best to watch the thermometer, since the foundation slab will support your future house. Let me remind you, ours will be a small, single-story building, about 72 square meters. Inside, we've planned 3 separate rooms, a bathroom with a toilet, and a living room open to the kitchen. We've also included a utility room with a pantry, since a tidy kitchen begins with well-stored onions and pasta. A quick trip to the construction site, since materials are ready for the masonry stage. But before that happens, we need to move the blocks. The closer they are brought to the workplace, the less carrying there will be later, which matters because each block weighs about 20 kilos. So there's quite a bit to lift, and since it's been a while since the last episode, a good warm-up will come in handy.
We'll play The Floor is Lava. One person is immortal, but he has to make a bridge for the other all the way to the end. So we'll see which team completes the task faster. 3, 2, go!
Are you out of your mind? I can't jump over like that, but it's better.
You're backing up. To the start, you're backing up.
No!
Shorter distances, and why are you giving me such big ones?
Come on, a huge advantage. Look, they're already here.
Come on, jump. Look how they're flying.
Technique, not strength, makes you an athlete.
After this warm-up with the blocks, we can confidently say one thing. No need for the gym. A construction site will do. Aerated concrete is warm, easy to use, and retains energy-saving qualities well. There are also less and more popular options on the market worth considering. Ceramic blocks, which are great at retaining heat, silicates known for their high durability and sound insulation, or expanded clay concrete, or the still little known perlite concrete. Every material has its pros and cons, but we chose what best fits our project assumptions as well as our budget. And let's be honest, once you get into it, even carrying those blocks is done with a smile. But wait a minute, is everything really okay here?
A sharp eye will notice that this first layer is a bit darker and it's different here. Isn't that some kind of mistake?
Let me think. Actually, could there be something to it? No. Actually, it's a cement layer, and only on this layer can we level the house on the first layer, because the next layers are already built with adhesive. You level the house with the first layer. That way you can be sure that when you build each subsequent layer within mortar, you reach the same level on every layer.
And why specifically the corners?
Well, we start with the corners because later we need to check the diagonals and the lengths of the external walls. Based on that, we know that everything is according to the design.
And let's hope it stays that way until the end.
When building walls, you first need to take care of insulation so that moisture doesn't want to climb up the walls. And if someone on the construction site ever asks you to cut a block from, how should I say it? Let's call it the female or male side. It's good to know that the block has a protruding tongue on one side and a groove on the other side. I don't think I need to explain further. Where's the female side?
We're 47 centimeters short to the pillar, so we need to cut a block. Let's not waste time. I think we can make a competition out of it.
Well, simply cutting the block for time. So, as usual in Polish on 1, 2, 3, right? 3, 4. Wait! That was a joke.
You said it!
Wow. Man.
You set an example for the guys at the construction site in here, too.
I was watching Lumberjacks on Discovery.
Second.
I know what's up.
2863. So what?
Why are you so hyped? How do you know you'll have it worse?
Seeing how he walked, we won't be better off.
3, 2, 1.
He's stubborn. I hope he steps on a rock.
Change the angle. 21. Thanks, we did it.
You held it really well.
Stroke. You're the best.
Tomek, if the guys tell you something, you can do 3 in a minute, right?
Cutting for time may seem impressive, but it's better to prioritize accuracy over speed. On a construction site, precision matters more than speed. When cutting a block by hand, it's best to score each side first. That way the cut stays straight with no curves or twists. And if you have a power tool with the right blade on hand, the job becomes much easier. The block almost splits itself. Before you move on to the next row, when building the walls, it's a good idea to sand the top of the laid layer. That's because next, you'll be using thin layer mortar, which, as the name suggests, is applied in a thin layer. Under the block's weight, it spreads evenly, forming a tight joint. You repeat this with each block. And there's one more rule you have to stick to like a mason to his trowel. It's about the gaps between the vertical joints of the blocks, which can't be too close to each other. It's better to assume a shift of about 10 to 15 centimeters from the start, and then you'll be sure that your wall won't fall apart as if it were made of toy blocks.
Oh, guys, I see that houses are popping up here as quickly as mushrooms now.
All right, we'll quickly tidy up the pallets from the blocks, and then we'll show you the magic that happened here.
Now it's time for some reinforcement magic. Though trust me, there are no tricks here. Compared to what we did with the foundation slab, this is really a small job. Back then, the reinforcement was woven like a giant spider web. And now we're assembling columns from threaded rods, which we stabilize with stirrups.
I've marked it. 5 centimeters here and on the green line. I just take it, snap, and it comes off. The best part is that there are a few hundred pieces to do, but it really goes quickly.
Yeah, I love that optimism of Oxy, for whom the glass is always half full rather than half empty. Those are exactly the people you need on a construction site. These small steel squares act as clamps, binding the rods into a single rigid structure. Thanks to them, everything stays in its place. Nothing moves, nothing bends, and the whole thing keeps the shape we need.
What is this?
Huh? What is this? You'll find out in a moment.
All right, Derek, we've installed a ladder here, but since there's no attic, what's it actually for?
The first of 8 or 9 ladders, which is actually a construction spindle.
A construction spindle.
Which in the future will connect our slab with the ring beam, giving the whole building rigidity even before installing the next steps like the roof truss and roofing. We will attach all the rods and screw them to the markers. And in the next step, we pour the concrete.
All right, let's go.
Do you remember those vertical rods sticking out of the foundation? Those are our markers that I mentioned during the foundation construction when they were carefully tightened to the reinforcement. It may seem minor, but it's very important. Right now, the dowels need to be firmly tied to the markers using binding wire, thus creating a solid structure that will soon start fulfilling its purpose. With the walls going up now, there's no need to wait. Plan the next deliveries ahead of time. And here an interesting challenge appeared for our engineer Crisio.
Your task is to calculate 1 layer of blocks because we need to order more material.
We're lost. I'll count 1. Multiply by 4 and...
Yes, that's how it'll be.
Hey, how do I count half? As 1?
All right, for 1, you have a good snack.
What seems simple at first often hides a catch. It's not just about counting the blocks, but about what you can't see at first glance. And...
Excuse me, but what's behind them? Air. Are there windows in the back?
But I didn't count that.
What are you talking about? There's a block there.
Come on, 6 times 11, guys. I won. Don't do this.
Go to the other side of the building. Count the other side from the end of that pole. The worst part is, he was doing a rename. That difficult word. He was doing inventory, checking what's missing. When he counts like that, he told Darko N.
It's good that we have Darko on site. The man has seen more than one construction site, so he knows what to handle and how before things get too heated. In the meantime, we're getting started on setting up the scaffolding. Thanks to it, the crew will have no problem reaching the higher parts of the walls, and everything will happen without having to balance like on a circus wire. Fortunately, the steel elements fit together quite smoothly, without any fuss or a suitcase full of tools. Before we head up, we also take care of the growing mess that's slowly starting to build up here as the work progresses.
Listen, you have to keep things tidy, not just at home, but on the construction site as well, so we've got bags for sorting. What is the yellow one for?
The yellow one is for sunny things.
Jokes aside, when almost every material arrives at the construction site wrapped in a thick layer of plastic, it quickly turns into quite a pile of waste, which is better off ending up in the right place. A special container for larger leftovers, construction waste, or rubble will soon be on site. I know things may not stay perfectly tidy, but it's worth keeping some order while reminiscing about summer life hacks.
Yeah, you often ask for a sleeping bag packing tutorial, so here it is. Take your sleeping bag and stuff it into the sack.
He once showed this during a trip with the Smarts.
And this is one of the most useful tricks we've shown.
But honestly, I use it all the time with this sleeping bag.
It's good to remember a useful tip since you never know when you'll need it. Since we've got the yard relatively sorted out, we can start working on the lintels. Here we don't need to make any additional reinforcement because the lintels arrive at the construction site as ready-made elements. Their task is simple but important. To support the wall above windows and doors by evenly distributing its weight to the sides. Thanks to this, everything will stay in its place, and the windows and doors will work without any problems instead of getting stuck like a drawer in an old dresser.
Did you run out of bricks, or is it meant to look this way?
No, we didn't run out of bricks. We made extra sort of air cushions under the lintel. They'll be on different levels due to the insulation for the warm window installation. That's why on the sole bed, so that there are no scratches or damage to the walls where the lintel is placed, we reinforce it with an extra cushion made of bricks. If you didn't get it, I'll explain.
I'll have to do that during the review.
The lintels are slowly starting to land in their places, so it might seem like we can already order the roof, right? Not quite. Before considering what's above the walls, we need to close them off first. First, this is supposed to improve the insulation itself. Second, this will form the base for the ring beam that unifies the building into one solid structure. So it's time to prepare another batch of ribbed rods.
Listen, real smart guys, they don't feel like working and they say, here's a challenge. That always works on a YouTuber.
You have a challenge. Line up the rods with this line, then bend them like this.
Into a 12.
You can't do it in one go? And this little weakling of ours...
And you go down like butter in one shot.
I'm going down in one shot. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, hut! Oh, fuck.
All right.
But it's hard.
All right, Krzysztof.
We have it here.
Another 90. None left for me. What a joke. Wait, just the position with one hand. Watch this, Krzysztof.
Bravo with one hand.
Good job I'm giving you the helmet back, but you won't fool us.
7 more.
Yes, I know what you'd like to say now. Claimer on the bench for the Warsaw tough guys. Don't hold back. Write it in the comments. With this build, the physique basically builds itself. Exactly. Building the form, but this time the one for pouring the rebar is the next stage of the work. Rebars, though hidden in walls, are the structure's backbone. If the backbone holds everything, it can't be done carelessly or with just any materials. Each column needs to be covered with formwork boards, which once attached to the wall can't just be left on their own.
2 screws and a board, and I already want to leave. When it isn't working, Oxy says the bit is wrong and you need to change the disc.
With the first domino set in rhythm, we move on to elements that tie everything together and keep the form intact. And this is where the pressing beams come into play, which just like the boards need to be placed on both sides of the wall. Instead of screws, we drill through and insert a reinforced rod. What else can I say? Concrete can be so nasty that as soon as it finds a leak, it will immediately take advantage of it. That's why it's best to clamp everything tightly. Clamps will help with this task.
Man, today I learned about ring beams, formwork, and clamps.
But I heard that you're best at stacking blocks.
Yeah.
After tightening the clamps, just check that everything is lined up. Are there any gaps that still need to be sealed? Are the window openings protected against spreading? And is the form ready to receive the concrete? That's a lot of questions, but once we pour concrete, there won't be any chance for corrections.
Oh, McDonald's.
Well, yes, maybe you can't recreate the same drama twice when the concrete mixer arrives, but right now there's a mix of excitement and a bit of nervousness on the construction site. Even though it just looks like ordinary concrete being poured between the boards, every move counts here. The concrete is poured in layers at the right pace. Each layer should be properly laid without rushing, but also without unnecessary delays. During pouring, a concrete vibrator is used in exactly the same way as with foundations. The point is for the concrete to tightly surround the reinforcement and fill all the spaces in the form. After pouring, all that's left is to arm yourself, but with patience. Well, It takes time for the concrete to set and reach the right hardness, and this is a good moment for you to contribute to building this format as well. Every like, subscription or comment is a real step forward for this video. It's like another bucket of mortar, like another pin that affects the quality. The algorithm is always active, and your engagement helps this series reach more people hoping to own a home but unsure where to begin. You're part of our team, so take action.
Oh, wow. Probably about 4 kilograms of this.
Like Ms. Daubor.
That what?
She brings cookies and gives them to the crew.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Ms. Daubor is coming.
There's nothing like a moment of rest with a good kebab after hard work, which has to be substantial, well seasoned, and hit the spot. That's exactly how we tried to approach the Smart Oasis project, which can also become your place on Earth. Every part of the space is designed to be useful, avoiding any unnecessary square meters that would increase costs. Dom Peony Energy's team managed everything. See for yourselves. Go to Spritnawaza.pl and see how it looks in black and white. Meanwhile, we're starting to remove the column formwork.
As they say, whoever is in...
Give way to him. Oh, I'm not joking with that crowbar. I'm not going to do it.
Let's grab the tools and work.
To put it in soldiers' terms, we're taking down the wooden armor that has kept everything in check for the past few days. It seems simple, but first we must find every screw that just days ago seemed right on the surface. Some of the clamps come off easily, while others act like they don't want to let go of the rod. A bit of struggle, a bit of prying, but patience pays off, and when the lower part of the structure finally reveals its shape, something new starts happening at the top. Time to build the formwork for the ring beam. While it may sound like a communion decoration, the ring beam actually distributes roof forces and ties the structure to the foundation, keeping the house intact. The reinforcement, the familiar construction ladder, goes inside and must be placed precisely with spacers. This ensures the concrete wraps each bar precisely, creating a strong structure. What happens next? Exactly, the concrete is poured.
Listen, the time has come. We're putting up interior walls even before the roof. As you can see, this is the first and hardest row, the initial layer. Once we lay it down, the rest will go smoothly.
Now it's about dividing the space where the kitchen bedroom and the path to the bathroom in the dark will be, not about load bearing. As Arxie mentioned, we're now building partition walls, which are essential for a sensible house layout. Before laying the first block, spread insulation to prevent ground moisture from rising up the wall. The first layer, just like with the exterior walls, is placed on traditional mortar, which allows you to simply level it. The blocks differ from the exterior ones. They're thinner and lack tongue and groove joints, requiring adhesive on both the bottom and sides between each block. For an experienced crew, this is a one-day job. In a house like ours, the walls go up practically before your eyes, but to keep everything in place, each wall needs to be anchored to the load-bearing wall. Special connectors are used for this, which secure the wall against movement, its own movement. Where doors are planned, lintels must also be installed. By day's end, you can walk inside and see how specific rooms have been formed from the open space. Well, the house now has more divisions, giving it character. Even with bare walls, it just takes a moment to see things differently. After all, someone will be laughing at the table here. Somewhere in the kitchen, there will be a call for dinner, and in the corner, there will be an armchair that's just perfect for relaxing. But you're probably curious about the costs of this stage. So let's take a look at the summary of materials and labor. As you saw, we weren't just bystanders, but we didn't handle the construction alone either. At the same time, we had the chance to see firsthand what this stage looks like from the inside and how much it really costs when reliable, legally operating crews are working. Remember, price is also influenced by location, as material availability and contractor rates can vary greatly by region. However, if you're thinking about doing everything completely on your own and building with a crew made up of trusted relatives, like your brother-in-law who's already built a few things and knows you don't dilute mortar with tea, you can bring the price down even more. But be careful, those lower price ranges are only an option if you know what you're doing and won't waste any purchased materials or, more importantly, your nerves. As I often say, cheaper doesn't always mean better. Choosing the cheapest screws or doing everything yourself often means accepting no invoices, warranties, or responsibility for the work.
Well, we have such gracious weather because it started to rain. And since it started to rain, gentlemen, what would be useful in our house?
A roof!
A roof! All right, things are going to happen today. Let's get started with the roof.
Dear friends, we invite you to watch the next episode of Construction Adventures and thank you for joining us until the end. It's nice knowing someone on the other side is experiencing the construction with us, smiling or leaving a comment as a trace. And remember, as Spritna was appeal, you can see what we're building and the final result, who knows, it might be your future home. We also send our warm regards to Krishia's friend who was recently looking for him online. So we're letting you know that he's doing well and is part of our team.
Once a friend told me she was looking for me typing Krzysztof, and nothing came up.
You don't have her in your friends?
Well, she didn't find me.
Seek and you shall find.